Well, I finally did it. I've been thinking about this for so long, and it's finally here. I built my first PC. Okay, so if you just want to see the parts that went into this PC, then you can go ahead and skip to the timestamps in the description below. But first, I'm going to talk about why I built this PC. Now, I built this PC to accommodate my Thrustmaster Boeing setup here, which I bought and was gonna do a review of last week. But when I went ahead and plugged everything into the Xbox, nothing seemed to be working at all, because apparently you can't run it on cloud gaming. So I had a small old Xbox One that was running my whole setup, so it barely ran it, and I knew I was going to get poor performance, but I never thought it wouldn't be compatible with cloud gaming. So then I've always been thinking of upgrading to this Xbox Series X, but all the peripherals that I was looking at for like flight sims, if I want to upgrade it in the future, they require a PC. So I was like, Xbox Series X, I'm gonna have to buy a new console when it comes out. There's no upgradability, and it's also gonna be a good experience actually just building the PC. So that's why I decided to just full send it and build the PC. Now this is a pretty nice looking PC. From my perspective, I really like this case. Has the buttons down here, which means I can plug everything in here. And it's also running Windows 11 right now. So this system is, again, pretty decent. I got it for around $600, even with the RAM prices going up. I decided to snag mine while I can. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the parts that went into this PC. So, firstly, let's talk about the CPU. I chose the Ryzen 5 5500 as a CPU because it comes with a cooler, and it's only $85-ish when I bought it. In fact, $80 when I bought it. The price is now like $120 or something. I'm hoping it goes down, but the price is $80 when I bought it. It comes with the cooler. It was just overall probably the best deal I could find. 6 cores, 12 threads, pretty good CPU. And now that we're stuck on the AM4 platform, I used an AM4 motherboard, which the Asus Prime B550M Wi-Fi 2 motherboard. So that's why you can see like the little Wi-Fi antenna up top there. So I wanted Wi-Fi because the router isn't in my room, and Ethernet just isn't an option, so Wi-Fi is pretty essential for me. This motherboard can support 2 SSDs and up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, I believe. Next, for the RAM, I chose 16 gigabytes of DDR4, 3200 megahertz clock, and CL16. This was honestly just the best you can find in this RAM shortage, and like the price is going up. So this T-Force kit that I snagged off of Amazon, brand new again, is the best I could do. I have a 1TB T-Force G50 SSD in here. It's an M.2 Gen 4 SSD, and I snagged this for $60-ish on Amazon, and I was just looking at the cheapest options because for a build in this price range, you can't really be picking, okay, I need this high end of an SSD now. That's just not an option. And for this, to power this whole system, I have a 550 watt MSI Mag A550 power supply back there. That's powering these front case fans, that case fan, the CPU fan, basically everything. And 550 watts should be more than enough for now. Because of the GPU I went with, it's the ASRock RX 6600, 8 gigabytes of VRAM, which is plenty enough for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And overall, it's a pretty nice looking GPU. It fits this micro ATX case perfectly, and I couldn't be happier. It only uses one power connector, so it's also very power efficient. The performance on this GPU is actually not bad. I really like it. It's able to run Microsoft Flight Sim at 1080p high to ultra, which is, again, really good. I don't plan on switching to MSFS 2024 anytime because, at least until the PMDG 737 comes out for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And finally for the case, this is the Okinos Cypress 3 Micro ATX case. Comes with 3 RGB fans here, a 4th one back there, and it's overall probably again one of the cheapest cases I could find. And right now this company, Okinos, they're really doing a good job with their cases and stuff. So I was like, yeah, might as well give it a shot, and I went ahead with the Okinos case. I also really like the USBs up here, so I don't have a bunch of cables messing with like the top or anything. And it doesn't, and since this is micro ATX, it doesn't occupy too much space. I have a relatively small desk, so I really need a space efficient case, and this case is pretty good for that. Now, total cost, this build ran me about, I'd say $610-ish, maybe like $10 give or take. Then for performance, this did about, yesterday when I was testing it with the Thrustmaster yoke, this did about, I'm actually pretty surprised, it did about 70 FPS on 1080p high in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And of course I changed the BIOS settings to like optimize the RAM and stuff, because the RAM always the clocking always gets reduced as soon as you boot up the PC for the first time. So overall, I'm really happy with this build. I will try and put some playing footage of me like running Microsoft Flight Simulator in tomorrow's review, which I'll be posting, of the Thrustmaster yoke. But today I'm not actually gonna put playing footage. So yeah, other than that, I'll just turn the case to the side here. These RGB fans can also just be controlled with the push of a button here, so I'll just go ahead and change the color a little bit, or you could do that if you prefer. I'm not really the biggest fan of that, I just want to plain teal. So you can again reset that up, or of course use an RGB software like OpenRGB, which I ended up trying out. It is honestly not bad. Okay, there we go. So this build, I'm really happy with it. Thank you to ZTT Builds for inspiring me on this build, because I took a look at a lot of his videos and I ended up racking up the courage to actually build the PC myself because of ZTT Builds. So this is like purely like inspired off of one of his builds. So yeah, thank you to him. And again, thank you to my parents for actually helping me with this build. My dad used to work on computers, so he kind of is like, he's the one that kind of knows what he's doing. So yeah, that is pretty much it for me today. If y'all have any questions then, or like any like feedback or like anything else that I should do with this PC that I haven't already done, or anything that like future I can upgrade, feel free to leave that in the comment section. Yeah, thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you tomorrow for the actual Thrustmaster Boeing yoke set review.